announcing some successes tonight. Please welcome Andrew Goodman.
Thanks, Graham. Hi, everyone. I don't have a speech prepared, but yeah, I'd like to echo some of the things that Alana said. Well, firstly, I'd like to congratulate Alana on her work and success, which I think is well deserved. And yeah, it's amazing to see how far your work has come in the last couple of years. It's really quite impressive. And I guess that emphasises the point that, yeah, art is hard work and that everybody who attempts it really deserves praise and congratulations. And also, as you said, it's, you know, it makes you very vulnerable when you put your art up to be seen by other people. We all experience that. I still experience that after many years of showing every time I show. You get nervous and, you know, that thing of judging, which makes the role of judging even harder. I'm hoping I won't get run out of town. And I've judged this prize before, some years ago, and I think, you know, the experience of judging these local art prizes, or any art prize, is that there's always many people who could win, and many people who deserve to win. I don't have that privilege. I only have one prize per category to give out. I've got one or two people listed as kind of, you know, honorary mention who came very close. I don't know if that's better or worse if you come close. Possibly it's actually worse. But, you know, I'd like to encourage everybody, those people who are here who are artists, obviously to keep going. And, you know, some of this is, judging something like this, there's a level on which it is subjective. You know, so please don't think that the fact that you didn't get picked means that it's bad art or that you shouldn't continue. Quite the opposite. So I'm sure you're just all hanging out. Okay, so we're going to go through them alphabetically, apparently. And the first one is for the acrylic prize, and the prize goes to Maria Wallace for Let It Be. Ah, there it is. It's quite good. With an honourable mention to Robert Pino for triangulism. So I've been asked to sort of just say briefly why I've chosen the piece. And again, you know, obviously some of this is subjective. But one of the things I think I look for is a piece that I think, oh, I could live with that on my wall. And by that I mean, like, it's something that rewards looking, you know, over time, and that you can come back to. And obviously I went round and round the show, had a short list, and then you come back and it's like, oh, you see something more in it, you know. And this one is a very subtle work, I think. And it you know, it takes quite a lot of viewing to really get what's going on here, and this kind of quite subtle graduations of tone and this kind of forward-backward movement. And, you know, I think, well, this is the only one I think I chose that isn't kind of representational, but there's something also, it's very difficult to make an abstract work. It looks easy, but actually to make it do something and hold your attention, I think is even more difficult. So congratulations to Maria, who is possibly here or not.
I'm not too sure. If you are here, by all means, step up.
You are here?
Yes.
I think you're going to be called up to receive your
Come on, don't be
prize.
shy now.
And the certificate? Yes. Yeah. It is subtle, but I mean, you know, there's something to be said for subtlety sometimes.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit different to the other work that's here. And yeah, they can easily be overlooked, but it's good. It's good that you appreciate that. Just that little difference.
Good day.
I didn't realise we were going to demand people to justify their work, but okay. Next up is the Oil Prize, which goes to Wendy Miller for Tulips and Apples. Ah, there it is. And I have to say, I'm a sucker for a good still life. I think it's such a cornerstone of learning to paint, and again, the idea that, you know, a work that you can kind of come back to and see little things going on. I really appreciate it in this. I mean, the brightness of it and the kind of cheerfulness. It's not always an easy thing to achieve. Oh, thank you. Now I can see it in black and white in front of me, rather than turning around to see what I'm going to say. But there's lots of really nice little nuances and brush strokes in this one, and little modulations of tone that I really appreciate. And also a thing I think, something possibly that I look for is something that, particularly in a representational work, is a work that can kind of show you the objects or whatever it is, or the landscape, without kind of over-describing it, and leave still a little bit of work and a little bit of imagination in there, that kind of light touch, which leaves a bit of energy in it. So congratulations to Wendy. Are you here tonight? No? Guess that means I get to keep that one.
No, well, I'll keep that one.
Oh, well.
I promise.
Graham gets to keep that one.
I won't take it away.
You take this one too.
Okay, fine.
Okay, best watercolour. And I have to say with watercolour, I always end up with a really long list. That these shows, I'm in admiration of anyone doing watercolour. It's one of my favourite mediums, and it is such a difficult medium. And that thing that I mentioned of, leaving some work there is obviously really important. Leaving something for the viewer to see is really important in a watercolour. And anyone who's done watercolour will know how easy it is to tip over that edge and ruin it. And there's no going back with a watercolour. So it takes a lot of bravery, I think, to work in this medium. And the winner in this category is Diane Huggins for Spring Delight. And this one, it's kind of hidden a bit behind the door. You have to turn around and look back at it. But, I mean, again, there were quite a few here, but I think the fact that this is really confidently handled, really good use of tone, that thing where the whole picture really works, and tightly framed, good composition, that I really couldn't fault this, as an overall picture. So congratulations to Diane. Are you here? We're not doing well on that, are we?
Right, okay, I'll nick that one as well.
Yes. Graham's doing well. And I wanted to mention a couple of other ones in this category. Ben Winspear, The Olive Grove, which I spent a lot of time looking at that one. Again, very technically strong. And Kim Lowe, Rooms for the Memories, which I also really enjoyed. Okay, so the last category is Other, which did collect, again, a huge number of entries, being across so many different mediums. So it was quite hard to judge this one, because there were so many different kinds of works in this. In the end, I went for what I think is quite a beautiful print. I think it's a print by Jeanette Rankin called Blue Gum. And again, I think there's a real confidence here. It's a very clever design. It really stands out. It's definitely something I could live with on my wall. A good sort of combination of detail, enough detail to give you a feel, and I think, like all the ones I've picked, I hope one that has a kind of mood or an atmosphere to it. Do we have Jeanette? We should have told them it was compulsory to come to win, I think. Then they would have turned up. And I wanted to mention Robin Davis, Leaves Coloured, and Robin Clark for Owl in that category as well. Other ones that I really enjoyed. I guess that's my job. But thank you very much. Thank you again.